this computer. So hi everybody, happy Tuesday. It is April 11th and this is a call for the crew and all of our downline. If you don't know me, I'm Lauren Beely and I'm one of the leaders in the crew and the founder of Team Lipstick and Lunges. You probably know me as that Backstreet Boys girl. I'm also the sister of Jacqueline Renee, who has hosted multiple calls for our downline as well. I'm really excited to host tonight and to talk. As you know, this month we are talking about expanding your network and how you can reach new people. Last week we were talking about Instagram, and tonight I am going to be talking about how to reach new people on Facebook, and specifically from Facebook groups and Facebook events. It's something that I've had success with in growing my friends lists and finding challengers and coaches for my team. So I am going to share all of my secrets with you this evening. So I'm super excited. Bear with me for a second because I'm going to try to share my screen and I'm not always the most tech savvy at this. So let me find where to do this. Okay, can everybody see my screen? Can you just do like a thumbs up if you can? Okay, cool. Awesome. So first, I just wanted to go into a few housekeeping things because I know that we had a big event this past Saturday if you attended Super Saturday. So just want to make sure that everyone has all of the info. So as you may have heard, we have 2 new vegan Shakeology flavors that were just announced, vanilla and cafe latte, which is super duper exciting, especially for all of our vegan customers. So expanding there, there's a ton of information in your back office. There should be videos on YouTube in the Coach Team Beachbody platform, and also graphics on the Facebook page as well. So something that I've been doing is making sure within my challenge groups that my current challengers know that these new flavor options are available. I'm following up personally with anyone that I've ever talked to that's been interested in the vegan formula, and also just making announcements on my actual Facebook page. I kind of hinted that there were new flavors coming out before they were announced, and I'm following up with anyone that had engaged on my post there. And I know that the Team Beachbody blog has also started to add some new recipes with those flavors as well. So be sure to check those out. You can get some great ideas and have some valuable content to put out there. Sorry, if anyone's jumping on, if you could just mute yourself, that would be wonderful. Secondly, you probably have heard also about the new fitness programs that are launching as well. So there are 2 new programs that are coming out. And of course, if you have the All Access Pass, you get immediate access to those programs, which is awesome. So the first is UV2, which is a beginner health and fitness program that's actually from Leandro, who, if you've ever done any Brazil butt lift workouts, he is awesome. He has an accent. He loves to dance and is very boisterous. And this is a new 4-week program that has 30-minute workouts, really great for beginners, that will be coming out in May. The second workout that we are adding to our repertoire is the Shift Stop, which is with a brand new super trainer named Chris Downing. It's going to be a 3-week program that features 25 to 45-minute workouts and a nutrition plan that also shifts during those 3 weeks as well. That'll be coming out in July. And there's a ton of information about him, also about like the program and his background and everything in your back office. So if you have any specific questions, feel free to look in there in the FAQ. And there's a lot of great content that Beachbody has been putting out, especially the videos from Super Saturday that you can share into your challenge groups, that you can share with anyone that you've been talking to. And quite honestly, if anyone is interested in those specific programs, especially if they've never gotten started with Shakeology yet, recommending the All Access Challenge Pack that's on sale this month for $160 will not only get them that program, but all the other Beachbody programs for an entire year. So that's been my strategy in talking to people. The next thing I wanted to mention was the Philly Playbook Live event, which is on May 6th. If you haven't heard of it yet or haven't gotten your tickets, please be sure to check it out. I personally went to the Playbook Live event that was in Dallas this past month, and it was awesome because it's not only hearing from our upline Jimmy, but hearing from other really successful Beachbody coaches like Danielle Natoni, Dave Ward, about the 10 main points in the playbook that you need to launch your business forward. So I know a handful of us in the downline have already gotten tickets. A lot of my coaches are local, but if you can make the time to travel, it will be well worth your investment because you're learning from people that have done this, that have been in the shoes that you have been in, and have built businesses that have made over $1 million with this. So well worth the investment. And the URL is there below for the Philly Playbook Live. So jumping into what I want to talk about tonight is Facebook and how you can expand your network in Facebook, specifically through Facebook groups and events. And really what I've learned, so a little bit about me, if you don't know me, I've been a coach for a little over 4 years. As I mentioned, my sisters, Jacqueline, Renee, and we have both been building our business on social media and a little bit differently, which is what I love about this business. I personally like to use Facebook and I like to use Instagram. And I think it's really important that you're branding yourself and that you have a good idea of who you are outside of Beachbody, how you can reach more people like you, and really understanding who your unique challenger and potential coach is. And what I've learned from this business is really that consistency is key, especially when you're looking to expand. And with finding new people on Facebook, there are so many people out there, but sometimes you get stuck in your little bubble and you think that you can't find new people, but you may just not be looking in the right places. So tonight I want to talk about 2 areas of Facebook where you can find more people. I have some outlines on slides here, but then I'm also going to bring up my actual Facebook as well and show you the parts of the platform that I use to find new people. So first off, as I mentioned, it's really important that you're being consistent in the number of friend requests that you're sending out a day. So as far as I know, none of us here have maxed out at your 5,000 friends yet. So that's really what I work to strive towards, is setting a goal each month of how many new people I want to add to my friends list. I actually track it on a weekly basis. On Monday, I kind of do an inventory of my Facebook, and I take note of how many friends I have from one week to the next, and I see what the growth is. For me personally, I send out at least 10 requests a day, knowing that not everyone is going to accept, knowing that sometimes you get unfollowed or unfriended, and just hoping that I grow my network by anywhere. I really try to grow it by anywhere from like 35 to 55 people a week. And that's that many new conversations that I can start to have in a week as well. It's really important to know the type of people that you're looking for. And sometimes it's hard to start off in the beginning. I know that when you start in this business, especially if you haven't been consistent yet or haven't started a ton of conversations, you really just want to sell to whoever you can sell to. And what I learned is that when you're talking to a person like you or like who you used to be, you're going to attract the right type of people, and the conversations are going to be a lot easier to have. So for me, what I've really learned is that my ideal challenger or coach on my team is usually a woman that's between ages 28 to 40. Sometimes they're single like me. Sometimes they're moms with young kids. But usually they're someone that likes to live in balance. So I share my life pretty openly that I work out, I do my meal prep, but I enjoy going out to eat on the weekends. I enjoy having a drink. Pizza is my favorite food, my favorite treat meal. And I think that I attract other people that like that balance or that envy the balance and want that same type of lifestyle. So once you start to get an idea of the type of people that you're looking for, it will help you find the types of groups and events that you want to research on Facebook. And it's always key to remember that your posts make a bigger impact with the more eyes that you have on them. So that means adding people to your network consistently over time and growing your friends list every single week. So this is pretty similar to an exercise that my sister had you do last week with the Instagram training. But it's really important that when you're starting to grow your network, just because you're a coach doesn't mean that your whole life has to be about being a Beachbody coach. You obviously had a life before that, you had interests, and that's really what you want to stick to and what you want to become part of your brand when you're branding yourself as a coach and the challenges and things that you do. So an exercise that I like to start with is coming up with a list of 5 to 10 things about you besides your health and fitness, besides Beachbody. So it could have to do with where you live. It could have to do with your favorite TV shows, your favorite musicians or bands. It could have to do with almost like your status. So if you're like a toddler mom, if you're an expecting mom, if you're single, if you're divorced, just kind of like where you are in your life and seeing if there are certain groups that have to do with that. It could have to do with foods or type of foods that you love. It could have to do with something health related. So if you are vegan or vegetarian or diabetic, or have any other health issues that have support groups, these are all things that you can think about with you and start to look for groups that have similar interests in similar people. Another thing that I forgot to list here, but like pets. So I know Mary has 2 golden retrievers. I know that my cousin Jillian, like she has corgis. So I find like a lot of the times too with like dogs or cats or reptiles maybe, there are groups like that too of people like you that you may want to be a part of. Okay, so going into groups. So once you've defined these interests that are about you that aren't related to Beachbody, what I like to do is find between 5 to 10 groups that are based on those non-Beachbody interests, and physically go on Facebook to find those groups to join. So, okay, bear with me here. Let's see if I can do this next share correctly. Sorry. How do I get back to, okay, can you see my Facebook now? Can somebody go like this? Is it my Facebook page and not that, and not the slideshow? Can you just get a heads up? I can't see the, okay, cool. Okay. So one of the main ways that so for me personally, I love the Backstreet Boys, and I've been a fan for forever, and I've joined a lot of groups having to do with the Backstreet Boys, and just been an active member in those groups. And then when I start to become friends with the people from those groups, they can see, because I'm consistent in sharing on social media, that I'm also into health and fitness. So I just want to show you quickly how you can find groups. So honestly, when you're doing some of this research, I found that it's easiest to do this when you are on your desktop. Like you can do it on your phone, but I find that it's easier on desktop, and this is the view that I'm showing you now. So on the left-hand side here, you're going to go to groups. And what I like about Facebook now is they can show you local groups. So groups having to do with like where you live based on what's input in Facebook. They can show you what groups your friends are in. And then they show you different categories too. There's also a way that you can search for specific groups. So for me, I'm going to put in Backstreet Boys. And when you take a look in here, you're able to see, all of the different groups with which I've joined a lot of them, and the number of members that are in there. And if you're friends with anyone, the friends will show up here. So a lot of the times this will take a little bit of research to start off, but you can take a look at what's out there and which groups you may want to join. A couple caveats that I would like to say. First off, I think it makes most sense to join groups that have a medium-sized amount of people. So it's great if you can join a group that has like 5,000 or 20,000 people, but be aware that your posts may get lost. At a different moment, you don't necessarily want to join a group that only has 20 members in it either. So finding that happy medium is important. Another thing that I think is important is taking a look at the members that are actually in the group and making sure that other Beachbody coaches or health and fitness people, like it's not inundated in that group. So if there are other people that are in your downline that are coaches on your team that are in that group, you probably want to steer away from it because you don't want to be interacting or friending the same people or promoting a free clean eating group and be kind of like fighting for attention with other coaches. So like, let's take a look at this. So this is like a Backstreet Boys thrift sale, but it's talking about like selling things. So it's not necessarily a group that I'd want to be a part of. Usually I try to go into groups where it seems like it's just a support community and it's not health and fitness related. So like this is for women that are going like on a cruise or to an event that are specific to it. So usually what I'll just do, let's see. Like this is an official fan group, so maybe I'll just join that one. And what I do is I keep a separate list of the groups. Sorry, can you mute yourself, everyone?
Hey, lay down.
I'm not sure who it is. Going through. Can everyone please mute yourself?
No color protects better, recovers great better. So much care.
Sorry, I'm going through and just seeing how I can mute. Okay. So anyway, so going through and just making sure that you keep a list of them is super important. So you can keep track of if you got approved in, if you didn't, and just keep track of who it is, like which groups you're now part of. Sorry, I'm not sure who that is. Where do I go to mute all?
Lauren, it's Kristen Kennedy.
Okay, thank you. I think we got it. Okay. Okay, so going back to then, like once you are part of these groups. So I think it's really important that, sorry, I'm trying to figure out this mute all thing. Of course, I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's at the bottom under participants and then manage participants.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I
think if you click on participants.
I don't know. Oh, here we go. Mute all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, perfect. Sorry. Okay, so once you are in these groups, it's really important, like once you're in there, not to just go in and go on a friending spree and friend every single person that's in those groups, because that feels spammy, because that doesn't feel genuine, and that's like not starting relationships with these people. That's just making it seem like you're just trying to sell to them. What I do is I usually add these groups that I'm a part of to my, like the side of my shortcuts, so that I have them there and I know to check in on them a few times a week. So I have like certain groups that are listed here that I know I'm going to check into and I want to add value to and start to become an active member of. So ways and examples of what you can post in there. So when you're first introduced into a group, you can kind of like make an introduction or like not coming out post, but a hello intro post. So kind of think of it as like, not dating, but like, hi, I'm so-and-so, I'm really excited to join this, and even put your picture there. So it's letting people know that you're excited, that you're new to the community, and you're eager to learn. I think it's important to engage and to like and comment on other people's posts, adding value to where you can. So if you see an article online or an interesting topic from a like page that's similar to it, share it into that group. Engage in conversations, ask questions or advice about that topic that you're there for. And one of my favorites is sharing funny memes or funny videos that I find. I think that just, like, for me, I love to find things to laugh about or reasons to laugh about myself or things like that. So anything that you think has like shock value or LOL value, putting into that group can like start a conversation and start to get you on people's radars in that group. And once you do that consistently, it pays off. There's a local Pennsylvania group that I'm in. It's a group of girls. And I feel like I've been consistent enough in that group, talking about health and fitness, talking about my free clean eating groups, offering up recipes like for free, just value, that when someone asks in the group about health or fitness or the gym, I get tagged in posts because they think of me. And that's kind of what you want to get to in the level of that group, depending on the side, is being that go-to person in the Golden Retrievers group that is also into health and fitness, so they think to come to you. And once you're starting to add that positive value and really like engaging with people, that's when you can start to send out friend requests and it doesn't seem as creepy. Trust me, there may be times when like people may be not put off, but they may not accept your friend request. They may ask how you know each other, and you can refer back to the group. But I found that friending people from the group, and especially when you're starting conversations, is a whole lot easier than trying to find like random people off of Facebook, because at least you're in the same community. Another thing that I found success with, and I know my sister has as well, is creating and promoting free groups that have like your own like free clean eating groups or fitness groups that have to do with the topic of the group that you're in. So maybe if it is like a busy mom group or a mom group, say that you created a free clean eating group for busy moms and you post about it in there. You don't do it as like a hard sales pitch, and know that every single group, sometimes like the admins have their own rules. But if it's something that seems relevant to that group and you brand your free group that way, I'm sure that you'll get a lot of interest. Like I found that I'm doing like a Backstreet Boys boot camp for Backstreet Boys fans that are going to see them in Las Vegas. And it's like free recipes every week. And if they want to do like Beachbody On Demand, they can. So I've been posting about that in my Backstreet Boy groups that I'm a part of. And it's kind of like a natural fit. And is it just like I'm spamming about things, because I add other value to that group as well. And the key thing really with groups is just to be authentic, to be you, and not just seem like you are a coach that is poaching in that group. I think that we all kind of know how that feels. I think that we've been in groups before where you see people that are just like copying and pasting the same thing in groups, and you don't want to be that person. So be genuine, be authentic, and set aside time every day to engage in these groups, and you're going to make authentic connections with people that are like you. And that's what I had about groups. Does anyone have any specific questions about Facebook groups that I could answer for you? I can't see the chat, so hopefully they don't. Okay, I'm just going to go into the next thing and we can answer questions afterwards. Okay. Another great place to find new connections and even find more groups is with Facebook events. So Facebook has a really great like discover page on events from your homepage, which I'll show you quickly. But again, it's a great way to find people like you that have the same interests as you. So if you go to your main page on Facebook here, and you click under, you'll see explore and click on events. At the top here, you will see the events that either you are hosting or you're attending. But then there's this great section that are events based on your location, where you can take a look at them for today or for the week. They have events that are popular with your friends on Facebook that you're friends with. And then also events that are suggested for you. I think that this is usually based off of like your Facebook likes and things that you've said that you've attended in the past. And then also just by category. And then I think it then drills down to your location. So I found that since I moved to Dallas, I've been using this as a way to find new friends and engage with people. And what I've been doing is I've been doing the events near my location and just taking a look at them. So if you click on there, you'll see different events. I'm in Pennsylvania this week, so that's why it's showing a different location for me. But you can scroll through here to take a look at the different types of events that you may be interested in. So maybe I'll do this adult Easter egg hunt and click on it. So the cool thing about events is that you can either say like you're interested or you're attending. You can take a look at the attendees that are attending, and when you click on it here, you can actually see who's interested, who's going, and who it was shared with, like from the event itself. So one of the nice things is that when you're clicking on any of these, it will show your actual Facebook friends first and then others. So I think a great thing to do is if you're looking at an event and you're interested in it and you see that a Facebook friend is going to it, this could be a really good conversation piece to start a new conversation, especially if it's someone that you've never talked to before, or maybe you chatted with them before and the conversation dropped off or they ghosted. So taking a look at what this person is interested in is something that's cool to do. Plus, if that person is a customer or potential customer and they're going to an event like this, then probably people who or their friends would be interested in going too, who would be people that you wouldn't want to be friends with. So with this, you can kind of scroll through. I've learned very quickly that you can see who is open to having friends be added versus not. And sometimes what I like to do is like, this is a little bit judging a book by its cover, but I take a look at like people's profile pictures and see if it's someone that's like me. Usually what I'll do is I'll just open it up in a new tab and start to look through. But if it's someone that I think would be someone that I may be interested in connecting with, or maybe we have a lot of friends in common, I may send a friend request. So this can take a little bit more time, but it gives you an idea of the types of people that are attending that event, and if you want them to become like a part of your network. Another thing is that when you click that you are interested or you are going to an event, that is going to show up in news feeds and kind of like put you on people's radars too. And I found that sometimes when I click that I'm going to an event, I get likes from it because it showed up in someone's like timeline. So that could be a reason to start interacting with other people too. I love looking at these to see too. So like this event is being hosted by a vineyard. So sometimes I'll go into that like page and see if it's a page that maybe I want to be connected to, and see if it's something that connects with my brand or if any of my other friends are connected to it. And lastly, it's always interesting just to see what the recent posts are and engaging on the event page with those posts. So for this, not always if people are saying like no, but if you know someone who's interested in it, do something like this woman did and tag a friend. And this is just genuine in like telling people about events. Sometimes I'll just like if people are going. If there are any questions about the event, or if people said that they went last year and they liked it, I'll ask questions. I'll interact with people. I'll try to start conversations. And if something feels genuine, you can send a friend request over as well. Depending on what the event is, if your like page or maybe like a free clean eating group that you're hosting has to do with the event or is connected to it, you may be able to post about it in the event. So for me, like for my Backstreet, I'm always going back to Backstreet Boys, but for my Backstreet Boys, like boot camp, I was actually going into groups on pages. I was going into the Backstreet Boys and the events that they had hosted, which are pretty much all of their concerts that are in Las Vegas. And I was interacting with people who said that they were going to the event, and posting the link to my free group if anyone wanted to join. So it was really like a new way to reach people. And I was interacting with people. Like if women said that they were going to the concert, I asked them where their seats were. I asked them where they were traveling from. And just kind of like starting to start a conversation really authentically and meet just other people like me. So seeing if there's any way to like engage genuinely on an event page can be good as well. Or if there's any type of funny meme leading up to it or some sort of like value that you can add to the event, especially I feel like if it's fitness related, that may work well. I think that's all I had to have about that. Yeah, so asking questions, post that you're excited to go, tagging any friends that may want to attend, and interacting with any posts. And then again, just looking through the attendee list, seeing which friends are going, starting up new conversations, and really just being genuine. I think that the way that you're interacting on Facebook with this is it's not necessarily like a quick way to add a ton of friends. Again, this is like the long-term game of starting relationships, showing up on people's radars, and finding new groups. But the consistency over time pays off as long as you're showing up and not really acting spammy at all. Okay, so I'm going to stop my share. That's all of the like formal everything that I had to share about this. And I feel like I was just talking a lot. So if anyone has anything to add, I know a lot of the other leaders like to do this and have had success through groups. So I see the Martins, so I might unmute you if you guys wanted to add something. Hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey guys.
I was thinking of one thing different that we do that you didn't mention.
Okay.
Like I know you said you create groups like Backstreet Boys, like Clean Eating, like yours are specifically geared towards something health and fitness. We've actually done a few groups that like have nothing to do with health and fitness
Awesome.
to kind of get new eyes on us, get new friendships. Like we have a Disney group, like it's Disney fans. I forget the name of it now. It's like rides and attractions. It's all about Disney rides and attractions. So it's like nothing having to do with anything we do. It's just something totally for fun and to get new friendships. And we also have
we just recently started talking about the marriage group.
Yeah.
We just started recently a group for married couples because it's just, and guys, if you're going to create a group, do something that, and there's some really good advantages of that because you control that. You can basically do what you want, and
anything
people will check out the admins of the group and all that good stuff. But, we just kind of, you also want to create that group that you kind of feel something that's just really, means a lot to you because you going in there and creating content for that group and doing, stuff with that group. It's not work. It's fun.
Right.
It's not, it's something you can very naturally go and do. So we created a group for married couples and just are centered around, I think we started Valentine's Day. And we got something like 20 something different couples. So 40 some odd different people. That's small, but
it attracts our target market, people that we want to work with. Down the road.
Exactly.
And we honestly, like, we don't post anything in either one of those groups, anything having to do with our business. Like, our business is strictly off limits in that group. But if somebody asks us something, or if they see things that we're posting on our personal page and it comes up,
and that gets back to exactly what you were saying, Lauren. And guys, when, the key to making, this concept work of being in groups, because this is one of the big ways that we build a lot of relationships and get a lot of people that we connect with, that we really identify with, is making sure that on your personal profiles that you are consistently posting.
Exactly.
so that when people see like, who is this, who are these people talking about this or that, like, are we
They're
getting,
gonna go check you out.
we're in, we have a very unique breed of dog that most people don't know. It's called a Vizsla. So we go in those groups and we post enough, we get involved in the community enough, people then like, well, who are these people? And they come check us out and, oh, you do that fitness stuff, or it looks like insanity you're doing. Really? You're doing that?
We also created last year, we're big into The Walking Dead. We created a Walking Dead support group last year at the end of the season. It was horrendous. And again, it's just something to get new people, new eyes on us. And periodically we'll post like on our Facebook, like, look, we've got this group, and this group. Who wants to get in it? Let us know. And we just add them in, or we'll share the group. And because it's stuff that we are interested in and we really enjoy talking about and just having fun with, it's not effort. It's not effort.
And you do it consistently. But again, the key is consistently being in those groups and involving yourself in the groups, and consistently showing up on your own wall, so that when people come into the groups, they come and see you.
And we do have plenty of customers from those groups now. We're just building those relationships. Yeah. So
it's the relationships, right?
No, totally agree. And that's what I was going to say. It's just so important that when you're making these new connections and you are in these groups and people are kind of like, you're branching out and you're putting yourself out there in these groups, that people are going to stalk you. Like, they're going to Facebook stalk you and they're going to be like, who is this chick? Like, why is she suddenly liking all my stuff? And that's why it's so important that when you take a look at your profile and you like scroll through, like within 2 scrolls, and you tell that you're a health and fitness coach, but that's not what you're all about. So I think it's really important to have an inventory, and this is going to help you with what you're doing, but you can't stop with your sharing and with being you and like not being salesy on your own profile. Cool. Okay. Does anyone have a question? Madeline Russ, did you have your hand raised? I'm going to unmute you. Hi.
Okay. Hi, I did, but now I had forgotten my question.
Oh, no.
It was a while back. I think my question, if I remember correctly, my question was about when you were talking earlier about going on into groups that share your interests. Mm-hmm. How do you bridge that from, talking about Backstreet Boys and how much you love this and that and the other, and introduce yourself as as a health and fitness motivator or working with Beachbody. So I was trying to figure out how you bridge that.
Yeah, so I think it depends on what the topic is, honestly. But I think that if you go in and you are kind of making an intro post, it's an opportunity to talk about you and then say that you also do health and fitness. A lot of the times too, when I've shared like the free groups that I've been doing, I try not to come off as like, hey, I'm doing this and it's the only thing I do. Like, like I said, making it relatable, where I'm like, hey ladies, like I just put together this awesome meal plan and it's for busy women. And I know a lot of you are busy too. And if anyone wants to check it out, like here's the link to my group. And really, again, just like providing the value and just like, hey, I found this and it's working for me. If you want to check it out too, shoot me a message or do this. Okay. And again, I think that like when you're just posting in the groups authentically about whatever that topic is, again, like people are going to be stalking you and kind of checking you out and doing things. So it doesn't necessarily have to be like into those groups. But with the people that you start to like friend or have personal conversations with, like that's when you can start to bridge it in. It's not necessarily something that you have to say publicly in those groups.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you.
Hey, Lauren, can I jump in and tag on your answer?
Of course.
First of all, Lucy, if you could mute yourself, that would be great. Looks like you're the only one not muted and there's some background noise. So I think what happens a lot of times with us is that we're so laser focused on how are we going to bridge? How are we going to bridge? How are we going to bridge this? And I'm not faulting you, Madeline, because we all think that way. And I think we're so concerned about how we're going to bridge into a conversation about either what we do or what we have to offer this person, this solution that we know that we're so excited about, that we get our heads all twisted up. Whereas if you stop thinking about that and think about if you were sitting at your kid's soccer practice next to the other mom and you guys were literally just talking about whatever, what's on sale at the grocery store, what the traffic was doing today, or how long the pickup line was, or whatever was going on, right? Somehow or another, eventually in your conversation, it might get to, well, what do you do for a living? Or, what do you do all day? Or what did you do today? Or, what's a hobby of yours? Or wow, you look good. How do you stay healthy? I don't know, like the conversation in a natural thing that had, weren't a Beachbody coach and you weren't thinking about how you were going to bridge into it. The conversation goes to a place like that, usually. Now, this is what you do when you're having an intentional conversation. You're thinking about those moments where you're like, oh, this is a good time that it would feel very natural for me to bring up the fact that maybe I'm a chronic yo-yoer and I struggled for years, falling off the wagon and now I finally don't, or whatever your story is, right? So I think we need to just try to stop thinking about the bridge and let the bridge thing happen. And then you go, oh my gosh, I think this is a good opportunity where it's going to feel natural for me to bring something up. Or like Lauren said, invite to a free group, which obviously, it doesn't feel salesy when you do something like that. The other thing I was going to mention is, first of all, I'm not good at this. And I'm so grateful, Lauren, that you've covered this material. This is really good stuff. But the one thing I want to say is, and I kind of could almost like read eyeballs, it's easy to look at this concept. And Lucy, I don't know if you can hear us, but you're still unmuted and the background noise is really bad. So Lucy, if you could hear us and mute yourself, that would be great. The concept seems like, oh my gosh, this is going to take a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I will say this, it does. It does take time and it does take effort and it takes consistency and persistence. But I want you all to think about the Jimmy and Tulin story. And the Jimmy and Tulin story is not the only one. Jimmy very genuinely congratulated Tulin on her hard work in the Insanity Club. Like this relationship built over time before it ever got to a place where they started talking about Beachbody. And now look what amazing coach Tulin is and what it's really doing, with Jimmy and his business and Tulin and her business. So you have to look at this and say, hey, this is going to take time. It's building relationships, but it's worth it.
Definitely agree. With any, I've gotten like multiple challengers from these groups. I've had multiple coaches join my team from joining these groups. And it's not something that happened overnight. So exactly what Mary said, it's genuine conversations. It's conversations about some other interest that somehow led to Beachbody. And for the most part, for me, it was like me expanding my network and people that were interested in the same thing as me. And I also made sure that like whatever groups I was joining, I'm also posting content about whatever that group is on my profile page so that you can tell that I'm genuinely interested in it. Like, I love pop music and boy bands because I post about it and I'm in the groups. And then it's almost like validating to these new friends that I really am a fan and I'm not trying to infiltrate like some niche. And then usually I find that then when I'm posting about that content of like whatever it is that we have in common, like the people that are all liking those posts, that's when I can start up conversations about things. And they're probably seeing the other things that I'm posting about too. But when I'm engaging with their profile, then like I get more questions or I ask questions just about that. Like, hey, are you going to this concert or did you see this or that? And it's really helped bridge the gap for me. And I think it feels like less icky because it's showing that I'm talking to them about something else that isn't just related to like health and fitness or weight loss or anything like that. And exactly like the Martins said, like they'll come to you for it. Brian, I'm unmuting you. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, and you just got to remember, and you kind of hear a recurring theme is like just talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really just honestly talk to people, get to know them, ask a lot of questions, become a master at the art of asking questions, and you will be surprised, you know, just how much, you know, how the conversations will naturally go to things like, oh, well, what do you do? You know, oh, well, there you go. You know, when you're forming people and things like that. But if you just naturally getting to know someone, keep, you know, Beachbody, keep these two things in mind. Keep Beachbody kind of out of the conversation, out of your head. But when the opportunity comes up, take it.
Yeah.
You know, natural, because if they bring it to you, they ask you, or they ask you what you do, or, oh, I see you do that fitness thing. Oh yeah, well, this is what I do, you know? So just be, you know, just be that master at asking questions, getting to know people, and just be natural. And you will never feel like, you know, that you're selling somebody anything. You will feel like it's just a natural conversation between two friends, and they will connect with you and trust you a lot better when you let that process happen that way.
Agreed. Awesome.
Could I say one thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to add that I love the fact that this is a team of people that works from a place of authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen so many of these kinds of calls, especially in the beginning when Jimmy was really just first starting. And I think he'll be the first to admit it. Like there were very few conversations and more like, this is on sale, buy this, guess what you can get today. And like, I felt like we were all just vomiting product. And it made me feel icky. And it's what made it so hard for me to get more hardcore involved for a really long time. So I just want to say to everybody on this call, this information that Lauren is sharing and everybody is kind of bolstering is just golden to be able to start your businesses from a place of who you are. You don't have to change a thing about yourself. You can literally go into groups that light up your life, that make you excited. You don't have to walk into a group that, like, I will never walk into an insanity group and be like, hey guys, this is awesome, because I hate insanity. I will never do that. But I will walk into, you know, the 21-day fixes and the people that are on all kinds of different weight loss journeys and inspirational rooms and funny rooms and stuff that makes me laugh and the Instant Pot rooms. Like, I will walk into all those with arms wide open. And so that's what Lauren's really saying here, is that you get to walk into the rooms you want to go into
Exactly.
in this business. And then you'll just naturally attract people that are so similar to you and that want the same things. And that's just, it's a beautiful, beautiful message, Lauren, aside from being perfectly articulated in the way you sort of took us through the steps. It's just a beautiful message. Just be you and,
Totally agree.
and have conversations. That's it for me.
Can I add something, Lauren?
Yes, of course.
Sorry, my phone keeps going in and out of battery. So I want to go back just really quickly about, I'm going to quote Mary Schrank for a second. She said it so beautifully, and I know we've hit on this a couple of times. Just have a conversation. And I'm going to say this. What's going to happen is that you're going to go and you're going to follow these steps, and you're going to love having conversation. You go, is this the time? Maybe now. Now Shakeology? Maybe not. And that's not the way you'd have a conversation. But let it naturally happen. And if you start doubting when to start bridging in your free clean eating group or something like that, and you're doubting if it's a good time, I'm going to encourage you to jump in and do it. Because if you listen to the Super Saturday video, and hopefully all you guys went to Super Saturday because being that energy is so, so important, then you'll hear from a 1-star diamond. I think she's just turned 1 star.
Yeah.
Who did the exact same thing. And so here's where people are going to get stuck. And I'm going to speak to some people on my team who are here. Just keep having conversations daily, and then give them the opportunity to say yes or no. And I think what's going to happen is that you get stuck in the, you know, having lots of conversations, and you're afraid to ask them yes or no. So by now, a lot of you guys have had conversations. So ask them yes or no, ask them if they'd like to be a part of it, and they say no, then you've planted the seed. And don't get hung up on, you know, is this the right time or not? Because if you're questioning that, then you're not asking them to join you. Invite them. just like you would invite somebody out for a cup of coffee. Or if you're an introvert like me, maybe it's, I love talking to people maybe about something I'm wearing or they're wearing. And those are usually ways that I can get in. Madeline, you love makeup and you love singing and, you sing Broadway songs, et cetera, et cetera. You have so many things to connect with. Danielle, you have so many things to connect with your chronic illnesses and stuff. And so I'm really encouraging you guys to not overthink this process and not worry about talking to lots of people, but to actually get to inviting and then get to closing. All those details you guys have, everyone in this group has. So utilize this information, but don't get stuck in the busy. Lauren doesn't, because Lauren gets them through this process. She develops that relationship, and she's right. Some relationships take longer. I was a little bit of a longer relationship, but that seed was planted, and it was actually planted from a few coaches before that, but I wasn't ready. So start planting the seeds by inviting them. And Mary will tell you she invited people over and over and over again. She works her list. So these are really, really great tips that Lauren gave you, but I guarantee you Lauren's getting in there, inviting them to her clean eating group. Guarantee she's getting in there and asking them to say yes or no. Does that make sense? So don't get trapped in the busy. Get people invited and in.
Definitely. Thank you, Tolan. Yeah, these are really the steps just to keep expanding your network and then going through everything else that we've taught about asking for the yes or no and all of that. So awesome. I just want to be conscious of everyone's time. Were there any other specific questions that anyone had? You can raise a virtual hand or type it in.
Lauren, I've got a question that's a little off topic.
Yeah, of course.
So I don't know if it was you or your sister who ran a Facebook Live the other day for like a coach recruiting call or like a sneak peek. Mm-hmm. Did I see that you guys ran the live like on the outside of your group and not actually in it?
Yes. So I ran a challenge group sneak peek on an event on my like page. And I actually took a look at Bonnie Engel and what she had done a month or two ago, and I really liked the format. It was an event. I talked for like 15 minutes about what is a challenge group, what's the all access, what's Shakeology, some kind of like normal like objections that I got. And then I had 2 or 3 of my coaches go live to talk about what a challenge group did for them. And the great thing about doing it not in a group is you can share the videos out. So like I shared the video of like me talking then on my personal page, and some of the ladies did too.
Interesting. So when I was looking at it, there's like 2 columns, and I actually had to click over one thing to go to discussion to find the live. So it was just a little bit weird. I don't know if everybody would know how to find it right away. So I was just quizzing you on that to see.
Yeah, so it was in the event, but then you have to go into the discussion to like see the live videos, but you can go live in events, like how you can go live on a page.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So it was pretty good. I got a lot more eyeballs than just having it in a private group.
Tulin and I did that. We did an event on the power of a success partner. We did it like, I don't know what, a year and a half ago. And we went live in the event. And if anyone's ever been a part of any of Josh Coates' training, he actually teaches it that way too. And there's a couple of top coaches that he private mentors that actually do that. They call them webinars, but it's nothing more than a live in a private event.
Yeah. And I like that it lives there too. Like our team has directed people back to it and kind of like tag them in it, and they can still go through and see everything too.
What's really funny about you saying that is because I will still see people comment on the video because we left it open. Well, the event, you don't close the event. Yeah. So if people search success partner or whatever they're searching and they're finding it, they're going in there and viewing it and making a comment. And so it literally lives on forever. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, which is really nice.
Can I ask a question of Wade? It was kind of interesting that Wade popped in. Wade, are you still doing your classified groups?
Yeah. I was thinking about having a call on that as soon as you guys have a space open for that.
That would be great. This group would benefit from that.
Yeah. I've had a lot of success. I know time is short tonight, so we can have a Zoom call on it anytime you guys have a space for it. So
we'll find space for you. Lauren, this was amazing information.
No, thank you for everyone for chiming in too. I think it's always great to hear from all of the leaders and the input. So Thanks for taking the time. All right. Well, thank you for chiming in. If you have any specific questions at all, feel free to tag me in the group, and I'll be sure to upload the video once I have it. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week and talk to you soon. Bye.